Hey, what's up, guys? Today I just want to talk about what I would do differently if I could start over in my career, right? And right now I'm doing awesome, stay learning every day, stay growing every day. But, there's things that I've realized that I could have did differently to optimize my learning and not necessarily get there quicker, right? But get to the level that I want to be at smarter. Okay? So we live and we learn, as long as you're able to apply what you learn when you figure out what your mistakes are and stuff, you're always good to go. But one of the biggest things about this channel for me is talking about my experiences and seeing if anyone can take what I've done in any way and apply it and even do better than me, right? It's never about me being the best in the world. It's about me doing my thing, staying in my own lane. And if I'm able to share some of the things that I've went through along the journey and it could help other people, then definitely I will. So what I really would have did differently if I could start over is, instead of thinking about just cybersecurity in general, right? I would think about it more on the level of job, right? So what I mean by that is, and the best example I actually think that I could use is medical school, right? So you can go to medical school, but you have to figure out what exactly you're trying to be. And you have to try to be as exact as you can, right? Because do you want to be a brain surgeon? Do you want to be an anesthesiologist? Things of that nature. Like, you want to figure out what is the specific field you want to be in. What is that specific job? So now let's talk about cybersecurity now. What is that specific field you want to work in? Do you want to be an ethical hacker, right? Do you want to be a SOC analyst? Do you want to be a cybersecurity engineer, right? Now, once you figure out the exact job that you want, the exact niche that interests you, then you could start researching, okay, what does a SOC analyst do? What does a ethical hacker do, right? Now, of course, in different places, the jobs are going to be slightly different, right? But there's a baseline. Now, once you figure out that baseline, then you're able to start training specifically for that. And a lot of times you can do this type of training without college, without spending any money. And sometimes you have to spend money because you have to do your certifications or whatever. But you could be a lot more specific, I think, with certifications versus degrees sometimes. I feel like the degrees cover more, like, on a broad level. And if anyone has experienced something different with college and you feel like I'm wrong, of course, comment below, let me know. But in my experience, I feel like it's just a lot broader. I'm taking English, math, managerial classes. Like, it's just trying to give me a little bit of everything, right? Versus if I say, okay, I'm going to be an ethical hacker. What does an ethical hacker do? What tools do they use? What platforms do they use? What operating system? What's the best laptop for them, right? And I build my learning specifically around this thing, right? Now, when it comes down to it, that one thing that I love and I want to do, I'm good at it. And every other thing I can do as like a hobby. Like, let's say I want to build a PC, or I want to learn a little bit more about how hardware work, or whatever the case may be. I can do that as a hobby, right? But I think that's what I would have did differently. Is just be a lot more specific on what exactly in cybersecurity I want to do, because my major is cybersecurity and networking. But I've learned SOC analyst stuff, cybersecurity engineering stuff, pen test stuff, like I said, English, all kind of stuff. right? It's only 8 weeks each segment, right? 8 weeks each segment. So it's like, and yes, of course I'm learning, but also another reason why I'm learning is because what I'm telling you right now is what I realized. Now, I actually had to sit down one day and I was like, you know what is my actual goal? And what really interests me is defending people, but my main interest is hacking. Like, learning how to hack things is my main interest, and everything else is going to be just like branches off of that to make that skill even more sharp, right? So yeah, that's the main thing I will say. Just try to figure out exactly what you want to do, right? What's your main goal? Do you want to, don't think about it broadly. Don't think about just cybersecurity, or don't just think about information technology, right? Or like I said, don't just think about medical school. Think about what is the exact profession that you're trying to think about, what is the exact thing you're trying to become, and then do all the research you can on that specific thing. So in that way you could start to learn and practice and sharpen up your skill in that specific thing, and everything else you do is kind of like a branch off of it. It's kind of like side hobbies that sharpens up that same skill, but you, instead of being so all over the place and feeling like you're learning so much and too much, you have your specific thing that you're working on, and then every other thing you do, you're doing it as in, okay, I could learn a little bit about this, let me learn a little bit about that, just sharpen up my skill, but this is what I am focused on. Okay, now I hope I made some sense to you guys, and if you have any questions, comment below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.